Hi yogis! Welcome to week 2, day 5 of our Build Balance Momentum program. Today's posture of the day is chair pose. Huh. So chair pose is a pose that people love to hate because it's quite the thigh burner. But we're going to have some fun with it today. You'll probably hate it by the end of the class too, and that's fine. But we're also getting an introduction to Sun Salutation B today, which incorporates chair pose. So we'll just jump right on into it today. So we're gonna start right in with our Sun Salutation B. So I'll walk you through it once to kind of give you an idea for how it works, and then we'll go through it a little bit faster and a little bit more fluid the second time around. So we're gonna start with our palms in prayer. And I know people hate starting out a yoga class standing, so I'm just making you start the day hating it. I'm sorry. But we're going to connect with our breath here a moment. You can either have your palms at your side if that's more comfortable, or you can keep them in front of your chest in prayer pose. Think about grounding through your feet here, feeling that center of gravity. And really tuning in with where you are in connection to your body. So do you feel like your weight's a little further back on your feet, it's a little further forward? We're trying to get that sweet spot, which is centered right above our arches, our heels. Feel as if you have roots grounding you to your mat. And bring your attention towards your breath. A couple deep inhales here. Exhale them out. Palms aren't in prayer, now's the time to put them in prayer as we begin our Sun Salutation B. We're going to inhale and come right into chair pose, so slight bend in the knees as we send our booty back as if you're about to sit in a chair. Wonder where they got the name of this posture from. If it's more comfortable for you to keep your hands out in front of you instead, that's completely fine as well. But we do like to kind of pull them up and just like relaxing your shoulders a little bit. So don't have them tense towards your ears, but just relax them down. See if you can sink your booty back just a little bit more, trying to keep your knees behind your toes, so not too far forward here. We want them sitting nice and back. And normally in Sun Salutation B, you don't hold chair this long, but I'm trying to give you an introduction to it and make you hate it just a little bit. So here we go. All right, inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back, and then your left leg. Inhale to kind of roll onto your toes. Exhale, bend those elbows in towards your torso. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ground through that left foot. We're going to bring our right foot up in between our hands. Drop that left heel down. We're swooping up into warrior one here. So inhale, arms up, and we're going to only stay here a moment. Exhale, arms back down. Send that right leg back. Inhale onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Other leg this time. We're gonna ground through that right foot here. Inhale, bring that left foot up in between the hands. Dropping that right heel down. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Send that left leg back. Roll onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward and then your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up into chair posture. And up into standing. Kind of went through that faster than I thought I was going to. Do you guys keep up? That was Sun Salutation B. So a little more complex, a little more to remember, but it really gets your body warmed up and your breath moving and flowing and your blood pumping, so it's a great way to start your practice. So we're gonna roll through this one more time today before we get into our practice. So inhale, drop down into chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time step back with your left leg and then your right. Inhale, come up onto your toes. Wrap those triceps. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot up through your hands. Drop that left heel. Inhale into warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Step that leg back. Inhale on your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Untuck those toes. Inhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bring that left foot up and through. Drop your right heel. Inhale, up into warrior one. Exhale, hands down, leg back into plank. Inhale, roll onto your toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step that left leg through to your hands, and then the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, up into chair posture, booty back. Let's give it a twerk. All right. Just kidding. All right, and exhale into mountain. You guys warmed up yet? We're gonna do a little more of a chair pose here. This is gonna be a fun one. Let's connect to our breath for a moment. This one always gets me super out of breath, so I apologize. I guess that's just warming up the body, so it's good. Okay, we're gonna come up into chair pose. And we're gonna exhale our hands back as we come up onto our toes. Spine long here. Inhale, chair pose. Try to see how low you can stay. Exhale, up onto our toes, arms back. Inhale, up into chair pose. Exhale, arms back. One more here. Inhale, up into chair pose. Exhale. And then let's roll into a forward fold. Grab opposite elbows and come into ragdoll posture. Let's reconnect with our breath here a moment. Feel free to keep a slight micro bend in the knees here. Dropping that head if you can. Good. Plant your hands on your mat and step your left, step your left leg back. And we want to bring your right foot to the outside of your right hand and really sink into this nice runner's lunge here. So deep inhale. Exhale, feel that stretch up through your groin area, your adductor muscles, your hips. And this time let's use our right hand, and if you can see, I'm pushing my right knee open. So just getting that even deeper stretch here. Good. I'm gonna ground through that front leg and use it to push the mat away so I can kind of lift myself up. And I'm gonna swoop my arm up and get a nice stretch through the upper back, through the shoulders and the chest. And then I'm gonna keep the momentum coming and come into revolved crescent lunge here. If you want, you can drop your right hand to your left hamstring. Kind of pull that left hand up and back. Get a nice deep stretch here. Strong front leg. Good. Use that left hand to kind of swoop yourself over. And we're going to come into Warrior Two. So if you remember this from yesterday, we were lining up our front heel with our back arch of our foot. Arms parallel to the ground, and do a little check. And then bringing our gaze just beyond our front fingertips. Knee bent, leg nice and strong. A few deep breaths here. Good, let's straighten out that front leg. And come into a nice wide leg stance here. We're gonna put our hands on our hips. We're gonna hinge forward at the waist, so spine nice and long. We're just gonna hinge forward here. Exhaling on our way down. Feel free to grab the mat if you'd like. If you need some blocks at this time to support yourself, feel free to grab those as well. I always forget to demonstrate that, so I apologize. I'll try to be a little better. And we're just gonna walk our hands over to our right foot. Inhale, spine long. Exhale, let's sink into that stretch. You can keep a nice micro bend in the knee here to kind of protect that knee joint. Good. Now let's walk our hands over to the other side. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. This time we are going to stay on this side and kind of ready our stance and come into runner's lunge again, this time with our left leg forward. We're going to use our left hand to kind of push our left knee away. Imagine on your exhale you're getting a little deeper stretch through that hip here. Good, inhale, that left hand up towards the ceiling, opening up the chest, almost squeezing those shoulder blades. And see if you can get a nice strong enough stance, keeping your weight in your leg and out of your wrist. You can reposition the back foot if you need to. Kind of use your foot to push the mat away, push, 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 and see if you can come up into that revolved crescent lunge again, sinking through that front leg. Okay, nice spinal twist here. You can drop your left hand to your hamstring. Inhale your right arm up. Whew. Does this burn or what? Good. Take that right hand, swoop it on over. We're going to come into Warrior Two. Line up that arch and heel. Arms parallel pelvis. Tucking that tailbone. Gaze beyond your fingertips here, sinking into that knee. Straightening out that leg. Coming into that wide stance one more time. This time we're going to bend the knees. And we're just going to shuffle back and forth. Feel like you're a sumo wrestler. About to attack your opponent. Good, we're going to come back onto our right side. Drop our hands down to our mat. Come into plank. Inhale forward onto our toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Going all the way to the mat, this time dropping our chests onto the mat. We're going to keep our hands where they are and come up into cobra. So make sure your toes are untucked, pressing those feet into the mat, dropping your head to the mat. We're going to lift our chest and shoulders off the mat, keeping our neck like hanging. So keeping your neck nice and heavy until we get to the very top. So inhale, rise, keeping your head low. And then at the top, raise it. Exhale, lower down. 2 more of these. Inhale, rise up. Using your shoulders to pull your chest up. Inhale, lift up that head at the very top. Exhale, back down. 1 more. Keeping those legs active, those feet pushing into the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower back down. We're going to come into funky cobra. So we're going to tent our fingertips out nice and wide. We're going to do the exact same thing. So inhale, head hangs low to the very top. Whew. Exhale for a fold. Back down. Inhale, chest and shoulders raise. Head at the top. And back down. 1 more here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back down. We're going to do what we call a locust. So cactus your arms here, so elbows bent. We're going to lift our feet up off the mat as we lift our chest. See if we can lift our ribs off the mat. Feel that nice pulse through the lower back here. Do you feel that? Ooh, that burns. Lower down. Inhale, 1 more. Ooh. Lower down. Inhale. Lift up. And lower down. Keep your right arm where it is. Straighten out, or I should say tent your left hand out wide. Bend your left knee and swoop that foot over to the other side. You're going to get a nice chest stretch here. So roll over onto your right side body. See if you can, you should be able to feel this in your right pectoral muscles and your right shoulder. Even a little down the side and back. Good, release. Let's do the other side. So cactus that left arm, tent your right fingers, bend that right knee, drop it over to the side. Cross your body, roll onto your left side body. Feel that nice stretch. Opening up your chest here. Few deep breaths. Good, and release. Plant your hands just below your shoulders. Untuck your, or I should say, tuck your toes. Lift yourself up onto your knees. We're gonna come into high kneeling. So I'm just gonna face you so you can get an idea of what I'm doing here. Never wear white pants. You get dog hair stuck to them all the time. So we're gonna come into high kneeling here. I want you to outstretch your right hand, outstretch your right leg, bring your right arm up, grab that tricep and that elbow with your left hand, get that nice stretch here. We're gonna laterally bend to the right side, so into that outstretched leg. And if you notice, I'm just holding onto the mat on that with that leg by my toes. Couple deep breaths here. If you feel anything uncomfortable or not quite right, feel free to stop at any point. Only go to your limit. So be very in tune with what that limit is. And we want to release. We're gonna do what I like to call arm swoops. So we're gonna swoop our body low. So you're bending your knee, kind of pulling your booty towards the bottom, or booty towards your foot as you come down. Swooping your arms over to your leg, bringing your right hand to your left leg and swooping your left arm up and over. And then we drop it low, swoop it to the other side. This time bringing your left hand to touch your left hamstring as you swoop your right hand over. We're gonna do this one more time. Connecting your movements to your breath. Just kidding, one more time. Inhale. Exhale, swoop the other side. Good. Drop the right hand down, bring that right leg under. Time outstretch your left arm and your left leg. Bring that left arm up. Grab your elbow and your triceps with your right hand and let's laterally stretch to that side. Deep breaths here, breathe through the stretch. And release. And here comes the swoops. So drop your booty towards your heel, swoop your arms up and over. Tap that left leg to your right hamstring. Swoop it down the other way. Tap your right hand to your right hamstring. Inhale, swoop, swoop, swoop low. Exhale, swoop the other way. Feel a nice chest opener as you open up. Let's do it one more here. Inhale, drop it low. Exhale, back over to the other side. And this time we're dropping our booty down. Drop, drop, drop. Nice and gentle. We're just gonna come into a nice forward fold. So tuck your right heel in towards your groin. Let's see if we can forward fold towards our left foot here. So grab whatever you're able to. If you can't quite reach your foot, feel free to rest it here. Grab a strap if you would like to loop it around your foot to get an even better pull. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release into the fold. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, sink a little deeper into it. And release. Let's switch sides, so bring that left heel in towards your groin. Extend your right leg. Inhale, spine lengthened. Exhale, forward fold into your leg. Again, switching your strap and putting it over this foot if you feel the need to. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Release. We're going to take our right foot and cross it over our left leg. So it comes to the outside of the left thigh. We're going to swoop our left arm up and over and kind of to the outside of our right thigh. And we're going to extend spine long here. We're going to just gently look over our right shoulder. We're not hunching over in this posture. We're keeping the spine long and protected. And we're not trying to crack our back here. We're simply getting a nice spinal twist. stretch through the spine. Mainly the thoracic spine. Good, and release. Put that right leg in. Bring that left heel over to the outside of the right thigh. Bring your right or left hand behind the body. Swoop your right arm up and plant it on the outer side of the left thigh. And then inhale as you stretch through the thoracic spine, gazing gently over your left shoulder. Spine lengthened. A few deep breaths here. And release. We're going to gently roll onto our backs with a nice knee to chest pose. We'll probably see this pose in a lot of the practice because I think it just feels so good on the spine and on the lower back. And it's just a great pose to wind down a practice. Let's gently do some spinal rolls here. I hope those chair exercises didn't take too much out of you today. And let's set up for Shavasana, shall we? So let's come into corpse pose. Extend your legs nice and long. Arms down at your sides, palms to the sky. Relax every muscle in your body. Try to imagine any tension that you have in the body just completely leaving you on every exhale. Let's do a deep inhale here. Hold for a few seconds. And I want you to audibly exhale it out. Deep inhale. Hold. Audible exhale out. And return to your normal breathing.